So have you ever confused dreams with reality? So you had a dream, you woke up, you thought something happened, and it didn't actually happen. It was just a dream, but it felt so real. Or on the other hand, have you ever tried recreating a dream? You had a dream, you woke up, it was really, really good, and you wanted to go back to where you just were. So maybe the next night you tried to recreate it in your mind, but it's not quite the same. You can't quite do it. You have some of the details, but it's still kind of blurry. Why is that? You ever wonder why that is? Well, two things, okay? It's the subconscious mind versus the conscious waking mind, and us trying to force an experience. It's like, how many things do we try to force in our lives? I bet you could name probably at least 5, 10 things that you're trying to force in your life. If you really looked into it, if you really delved, you could probably figure out things that you're attaching to, things you're very resistant to, you're trying to push through, whether it's a person trying to keep a relationship alive that used to be good, and now, you both changed, but you're trying to keep it the same. Why is that? Or a job you're trying to force because maybe you had a previous job and you were let go of, and now you're trying to recreate that experience. It's almost like a drug, right? We're trying to recreate this heightened state of emotion that makes us feel good in a certain sense. So all dreams are tied to emotions, we know that. All memories are tied to emotions. It's in our big storage unit of a subconscious mind where we have all these things and memories and all kinds of stuff, but even memories get distorted over time. We may not quite remember them as accurately or as vividly as when we had that experience. So when we try to recreate something, it's very hard to do. Again, it's force versus flow. Think of it like water. Water is like the ultimate analogy for life. Now I could use analogies for anything because I love using them in general. But water, really, you can simplify it to life. Think of water, okay? Ultimate yin. Water and fire. Fire is yang, water is yin. I'll get into that in a second. But water can be a number of things. It could be fluid. It could be calm, it could be peaceful, but it could also be stagnant. It could be mucky. It could feel like violent, turbulent. There's also ebbs and flows to water. Tides, right? The ebbs and flows. So water can relate to your life, and water is the ultimate analogy for emotions. That's why all dreams are based on our emotions, right? So when you have water in your dreams, pay attention to what kind of water. Is it frozen? Is it stagnant? Is it violent? Is it roaring waves? Or is it calm? Is it peaceful? That can tell you a lot about your emotions. So back to this, okay, the yin-yang thing. Okay, water is the ultimate yin. It is our essence, has to do with our essence, our body of being here. It's connected to fire. It actually controls fire because too much fire, too much energy, too much exuberance, too much expansion can get out of control. So there's this balancing system we have between not only yin and yang, fire, water and fire, but just life in general. So we have our essence about us, our being, but we also have the potential of becoming. So this is why it's not a great thing to get hung up so much on our past memories, but it's a good thing to have that fine balance between our past memories, but also on becoming, new potential, right? Creation. Creating something out of nothing is a beautiful thing. So if we're always stuck in our memories and our past, and we're always trying to recreate experiences that no longer exist, well, we think they exist in the computer or storage bank, right? But they're not tangible anymore. We're trying to recreate, what we're trying to recreate is not necessarily the experience, but the emotion. So the thing with that is that stuff around us always changes. People change. So if we're trying to force a relationship, for example, get back with our ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever. I want things to stay the same how they were, or a job, trying to force a job. I want things to be how they were. If we're always stuck in that past mindset, then we never form that connection between fire and water, between being and accepting where we are, but also becoming and creating something new. So it's this force versus flow thing. Think of your life like water. Ask yourself a few questions. What in your life right now are you trying to force? What feels very resistant to you internally? Not just on a mental level, but internally. Are you hanging on to something that no longer serves you? Are you trying to attach to somebody from your past who no longer serves you? And then ask yourself, what feels easy in my life? What gives me energy? What gives me life? What gives me that spark? What connects me feeling grounded to something higher than me? Potential, right? Something new, something different. So a lot of times we force. And it's kind of like, it feels like walking through mud, walking through mucky water a lot of times. We often hit a block. What happens, force in the body shows up as resistance, and resistance can show up as stagnation in the body. If you think of energy flow in your body, anything that's stagnant, when the energy gets stagnant, can lead to emotional or physical distress, disease eventually in the body because stuff isn't moving. So when you're always hitting walls in your life and you're always trying to force and nothing ever feels easy on an internal level, then that's where you need to look a little deeper. Okay, what are you trying to force versus what are you trying to flow with in your life? Think of water. Be like water. Did Bruce Lee? I think Bruce Lee said that, right? Be like water. But it is really true how we can simplify things in life, and we tend to make things complex because we're trying to force. Okay, so the next time you're trying to recreate a dream, don't. Make a new dream for yourself, okay? Create any possibility for yourself. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you like this video, please subscribe. I put out new videos every single week for you. Hit that like button below, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.